Central African time, and we're coming to you live from Johannesburg in South Africa. Join us in conversation on our social media platforms. That's on X, Instagram, and subscribe on YouTube at Channel Africa 1, on Facebook at Channel Africa. You can also send us your comments and voice notes to +2763 at 406 9126 hashtag Africa Update, and let us know which country you're in.
Your window to the continent and beyond. Africa Update, only on Channel Africa. Channel Africa. The African perspective.
A staff member from Save the Children in Sudan's Fasher has recounted the horrors that people are going through. Our 52-year-old Umran, not his real name, has been working in Sudan for 10 years and says he will never forget the bodies on the streets. Umran describes the scenes of violence and loss when fighting engulfed the city last week. Many fled on foot, trying to escape the artillery that was coming from all directions. He has described what is happening in Fasher as a massacre and says families are starving. And for more on this, we are joined on the line by Odette Ntambara, Director of Advocacy, Campaigns, Communications and Media for Save the Children. Odette, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Thank you so much for having me.
You know, just reading this intro and going through it and you know, trying to visualize exactly what has unfolded and what has been seen. You know, it's Umran has really seen the most, and he's not the only one on the ground who has had this type of experience. Are your staff members in Fasher safe, and how are they holding up?
Yes, so the humanitarian context right now, it's really dire in regards to aid workers operating in such extreme risks when we talk about Fasher and we talk about other regions as well, like the South Kordofan. So we do have a team on the ground in Tawila that have been responding to the massive influx of displaced communities. And they're really trying to support in the sense of psychosocial support to a lot of families. But at the same time, as you rightly mentioned, they themselves are going through what is something that is not anticipated in regards to having to take care of yourself and at the same time taking care of others. We are running mobile clinics where we are receiving individuals who are having limbs, who have broken limbs, have scars, and this is something that our staff in the field have to look at every day. And also some of them have family members, extended family members in this conflict affected areas. So there's a lot of psychosocial and trauma that comes with being an aid worker in such a situation.
And how do you then deal with it as an aid worker on the ground, seeing just what you've described, and I must apologize to some of our sensitive viewers and listeners with regards to the descriptive, response that we've gotten from Odette with regards to painting that picture, a visual picture of what is really unfolding in Fasher in Sudan. Odette, how do you then, as an aid worker on the ground, as you mentioned, the fact that not only are you trying to be counselor or a psychologist to the families and individuals who are coming in to your centers, but also to your co-workers as individuals?
Yeah, it's not an easy position or a situation to be thrown into. Aid workers are doing so much in regards to supporting families, and civilians are paying the highest price in this conflict. And civilians in this case also include aid workers. So as an organization, we try as much as possible from the country office here in Port Sudan, as that's where I'm based, to support our frontline colleagues who are working tirelessly with the local communities as well as volunteers. And the best we can do right now is obviously continue to advocate and raise awareness of the situation that they are having to work under, and appeal for the demand of accountability on attacks on civilians, and also appeal for an immediate cessation of violence. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we are deeply concerned by the growing reports of injuries and killings and abductions that we are hearing all, across the news. And this is just unacceptable. There is a humanitarian law here that is being not abided to. And so this is the support that we can do for those who are responding on the front line to ensure that we continue to raise awareness and demand for accountability.
And just in wrapping up, Odette, what has happened to the people that are not able to escape or flee?
Sadly, there's still about 260,000 individuals in El Fasher. Around 130 of them are children who are still trapped in very dire conditions where there is no access to escape. And again, what we can do as a community, as an international community, is to continue urging those states with power, with influence, to demand safe passage for those who want to leave, and also demand for humanitarian access for aid workers to come in and be able to support with the immediate needs, which are really food and water at this point.
Well, Odette, we have run out of time and are going to leave it there for today. Thank you for joining us on Africa Update.
Thank you so much.
That's Odette Ntambara, Director of Advocacy, Campaigns, Communications and Media for Save the Children Sudan, joining us on the line.
Ready to connect.